Hey guys, I'll be back at you with another story. The job was supposed to be straightforward, a one-day cleanup on an old estate at the end of Willow Lane. The new owners, some tech couple from the city, wanted the place presentable before they moved in. Overgrown hedges, dead trees, weeds choking the flagstone paths. A standard landscaping gig. They paid triple for the rush job and said they'd be out of town until next week. Miguel Torres arrived at dawn with his crew of three, two guys for heavy lifting, and his cousin Rico on the mower. The gate was wrought iron, rusted but unlocked. Beyond it, the yard looked like it hadn't seen a blade in decades. Boxwoods twisted into shapes that almost looked intentional, faces maybe, or reaching hands. The house loomed at the back, windows dark, ivy crawling over everything like veins. They started at the border. Miguel fired up the chainsaw for the dead elms. The first cut went fine, wood dust flying, clean scent of fresh sap, but as the trunk thudded down, something clattered inside the hollowed core. He reached in with gloved hands. A small brass key, old, engraved with tiny flowers, still shiny like it had been placed there yesterday. He pocketed it, shrugged. Kids probably, or squirrels with weird hobbies. By noon, they'd cleared half the yard. Rico was edging the driveway when he stopped the string trimmer. "Hey, boss, these hedges, they weren't like this when we got here." Miguel walked over. The privet along the side path, 8 feet tall, wild, had been sheared overnight into perfect geometric shapes, spheres, cones, a perfect arch over the garden gate, clean cuts. No clippings on the ground, no footprints in the mulch. The crew laughed it off. Maybe the owners hired someone else at first, but the cuts were too precise for a rush job. And the shapes, they formed a pattern if he stood at the right angle. The hedges looked like letters or a word. They kept working. Afternoon turned to dusk. Fog rolled in off the river, thick and cold. Miguel sent the others home. Said he'd finish the back patio alone. He wanted the overtime. The backyard was worse. A sunken garden with a dry fountain in the center. Statues, classical figures, moss-covered, stood at the corners. One had no head. Just a smooth stump where it should have been. He started trimming the rose beds. The canes were thorny, overgrown, but as he clipped, he noticed something woven into the branches. Long, dark strands, human, tied in neat knots, like someone had braided them into the plant years ago. Then the whispering started, soft at first, like wind through leaves, but words, names, his name. Miguel. He spun, nothing, just fog and shadows. He grabbed the head shears, kept going, faster now. The rose bled sap that looked too red, too thick. At the far end of the garden, behind a wall of yew, he found it, a fresh patch of soil, recently turned, about 6 feet long, 3 wide, perfect rectangle. No grass yet, just dark earth, raked smooth. In the center, a single flower had pushed up overnight, a lily, white, blooming out of season. He knelt to touched the petals, cold like marble. Then the ground shifted, not earthquake, something moving underneath. Slow, deliberate, like fingers pressing up from below. He stumbled back. The lily tilted toward him, as if listening. The whisper grew louder, multiple voices now, overlapping, laughing, singing a lullaby he hadn't heard since childhood. His abuela's song. He ran for the front, but the paths twisted. Hedges that had been open arches were now closed walls. The yard had rearranged itself, maze-like. He cut through a gap, thorns tearing his sleeves. Made it to the driveway. His truck was there. Keys in the ignition like always, but the gate, wide open when he arrived, was shut. Padlocked from the inside. He looked back. The house lights were on now, every window glowing warm yellow. Silhouettes moved behind him, behind the curtains, tall, slow, graceful, dancing like a party in full swing. And on the front steps, under the porch light, stood a figure, wearing his jacket, his hat, same build, waving slowly, like it was saying goodbye. Miguel yelled, banged on the gate. No one came. He climbed over, dropped to the other side, ran to the road, hitched a ride with a passing trucker who didn't ask questions. He never went back for his tools, never cashed a check the owners mailed. Triple pay plus a bonus note. The garden looks beautiful. We'll take it from here. The place sold again 6 months later. New owners lasted 3 weeks. Said the hedges kept growing back overnight, always in the same patterns, always forming the same word if you looked long enough. They left without unpacking. Miguel still landscapes, but never alone after dark, and never privet or roses. Sometimes when he's edging along at twilight, he swears he hears that lullaby again, faint from the soil. And once, just once, he found a single white lily petal in his boot. Still fresh, still cold. Sleep tight, and if you ever hire someone to tame the yard, make sure they finish before the sun sets. Some gardens don't like to be changed. They remember how they were shaped, and they prefer their original design. Thanks for listening, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.